In today's video, I'm going to show you how I create faceless YouTube channel with AI completely hands-off, all automated. I'm not the only one doing videos like this. There are multiple channels making thousands and thousands a month just creating videos like this.
Officer Jake Thompson, a seasoned cop with firm convictions, patrolled the city's sidewalks and alleyways on foot, threading his way through the anonymous crowd. The city had been plagued with minor crimes lately, turning Jake's patrol hours into long, tense marathons.
I promise you, no one is doing this on YouTube. You can feel free to go search on YouTube. You'll not be able to find this video because it's a detailed tutorial. This is a full course of how I did everything from start to end. Now, if you're watching this video and you feel like I can't be asked to build system like this, or maybe you're a business owner looking for automation to save you more money and more time, click the link below this video. It's going to take you to my website where you can reach out to me. I'm going to show you a few channels. There's quite a lot of channels that are doing this, and I'm going to show you a few just to give you an idea the type of video we're going to be creating today. So this is the first channel. It's called Reddit Story. You probably heard of Reddit Story because if you like watching stories like me, you've probably seen it. But if you don't, well, I'm showing it to you now. I'm just going to click on any of the stories. So let's go to their videos. As you can see, they're getting really good views. So I'm going to click on, maybe look for their most popular. And 4 months ago, if you see here, this is just different Reddit stories or stories that seems to be Reddit stories. Sometimes the stories can be made up. A lot of times the story is made up because there's only so much story you can find in Reddit, and people just use subtitle, use voiceover, and it's not even as good quality voiceover as ElevenLabs, but it works. People love to listen to the stories. There are other ones like this channel here. This is a different type of story. This one, it tends to be longer. As you can see, it's very much longer, which is the type of videos that I do. And then this is another channel that does this. It's in a different niche, but it's like, it's not really niche, it's a different type of story. But as you can see, their one is very long as well, an hour long videos. And then this is another one. I have a channel on this niche actually. And as you see, this channel is quite new. It started a month ago, and they're already monetized and making money. So this is more than possible for you to do. The important thing about this niches is getting the story right. The story is what makes a difference. The quality of the story is what makes a difference, and the flow of it as well. It has to sound very human as possible. So which is why I'm going to show you the steps, and then I'm also going to give you tips on how to make it sound as human like as possible. If I click on this story, let me skip the ads. You will see that the story is literally just one image on the screen. I'm just going to click through it. This is why I said to you that the important thing about the story, it is the words that's being said, meaning the story itself, not the images. People don't care about watching images in stories like this. They just want to hear something interesting, something fun, and something that they can connect to and be like, I can't believe this happened. So let's get into it. Now that I've showed you the different niches, let's start with what I did was I put everything in this document that I'm going to share with you so you can use it for yourself, and I'm going to add more things as we go on. Let's go to, now here's a few things we're going to need. We're going to need Airtable, we're going to need make.com, and we're going to need other platform, which I'm going to talk about later. Airtable is our host, it's our database. I used to use Google Sheet for this, so you can also use Google Sheet for this. And maybe let me know, comment below and let me know if you want me to make a video with Google Sheet, and then I'll try to make a video with Google Sheet for you, because Airtable, it's a paid plan. You have to use a paid plan, but Google Sheet is completely free. So let me know below. And then make.com, you can use the free plan, but if you're going to be creating quite a lot of videos a month, the free plan is not going to be enough because you don't get that much operation. Even for testing and building it and testing it, make sure it works, you are going to run out of operations quite quickly. So I don't know, it's up to you. Build your software with a free plan and then move to the paid plan. It's not that expensive. I think it's like £20 a month. Yes, you can see here, like $20 a month, even less than $20 a month. That's the plan I'm on. And it's more than enough for you to do your monthly videos. Now that that's out of the way, let's just go straight into it. First thing you want to do is log into your Airtable, and you want to come here and click start from scratch. This one is for my channels. And then you're going to click on here and say start from scratch. I'm going to view it exactly the same way I have mine. The first thing we're going to need this table, this is going to be story. We're going to need the stories, and I'm going to click OK. I'm just going to remove these things because I don't need this. And then I'm going to turn this here into auto incremental field. It's called auto number. And then here is the document that has everything I need to create. So what I did was I merged these two things together now, so they're not in a separate field anymore. Now I'm going to do the story first. Even though I create multiple stories, multiple outline stories, multiple scenes, 5 scenes is good enough, depending on the length of the video you're doing. But for me, I have 9, 10 different scenes. That's because I like to break it down instead of just having ChatGPT creates maybe 1,000 words for me maximal output, even though they say they can create more, but I get the 1,000 word maximal, so I had to add multiple scenes to make it that long. But I'm going to do 3 scenes here, and then you can just basically copy me. If you want to add more scenes, you can add more scenes. So I'm going to say video title, and then we're going to make this single text because it's just a title, and then we're going to say scene 1. This is going to be outline. Long text, we're going to make this long text field, and this is going to be scene 2. Long text field again, and this is going to be scene 3. And then last long text field again. But obviously, if you're going to be having more than 3 scenes, you can definitely start with 3 scenes. It's fine. It just means your story is probably going to be this length that I showed you, this Reddit length, which is completely fine. So you can see there are people doing that. But if you want to do this type of stories, then ideally you want longer scenes, because you're not going to be able to get that long output as you need to make it that long. But if you want to add more scenes, all you have to do is like scene 3, scene 4, outline, and then you're going to do long text, and just keep doing that until you get to all the scenes that you need. I'm just going to remove this. Same process is going to apply regardless of how much scene you need. Same process is going to apply. And then I'm going to create the next tab that says story. This one is I'm going to make this a linked record, because I want this table to be linked to the story type table. You're going to see why soon. Okay, I'm going to go to this table. All I need for this, I'm going to make this auto number as well. I'm going to add a table here. So for the story type, I have first person perspective and script to generate the prompt. So the script generator prompt. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to add, I'm going to say story type, single line, and then I'm going to say story prompt. This is the prompt you're going to use to generate your stories. I'm just going to remove this, hide this here. Make sure you don't delete it, just click hide because you don't need that. And then for here, I'm just going to add the prompt. I added the prompt here as well for you. So I'm going to copy this. This is going to be the prompt. For the prompt, you have to keep building on your prompt. You need to learn prompt engineering. To learn prompt engineering, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but there's this one that really, really helped me. And this one, it's from Liam Otley. I think that's his name. I would leave his video in the document as well. You need to go watch that video. It's a long, detailed video where he teaches you how to write prompt. Once you've watched that video and you understand, you'll be able to direct ChatGPT to make your prompt better. For now, I'm just gonna leave this on here. Just make know you're gonna have to keep improving it, because for me, I keep learning new things every day, so I keep improving my prompt. Paste it on here. Okay, I'm just making sure it has the right details that I need, and then I'm gonna copy this. So when it comes to, I'm sure you already know what a first person perspective is. When you're writing the story, it means I'm telling the story, and then when it's a third person, it means someone else is telling your story. So I'm going to do third person here. The reason why we have the story type is you're going to get to a point where you create different type of stories. Third, you're going to create different type of stories. Just write third person, because this is going to be the third person perspective type of story. And then if you want to add the first person where you are the one telling the story, you're telling your story to someone else, just click this button. It's going to be number 2, and you're just going to write first person here, and then you're going to add the first person prompt. Delete this. This is all we need, and that is done. Next, we're going to create a new tab, and then click start fresh, and then we're going to add the script. I'm going to drag this here because it needs to be next to the story, and then I'm going to delete all this field as well. I don't really need this, and then I'm going to make this auto incrementing field too. Actually, I'm going to add the title first. Story video title, and then this is going to be a single text, and then I'm going to group it by title. The reason why I group it by title is because if they're grouped by title, they separate each other based on the title. So if you have a different title of a story, it's going to be separate from the other title that you created before. You will see in a minute. And then this one you don't need to group. Let's go back and finish this. So I need the title, I need the script, and I need the ready field. So I'm going to say script, scene 1, script. We're going to make this long text because it's a script. This is going to be scene 2, script, long text again, and then scene 3, and then long text. And then I'm going to have the ready check mark. You don't have to have the ready, but I like to have the ready because I like to read the script once ChatGPT has created it, because sometimes it's not perfect. AI, it's not perfect until you dial your prompt in to get the right output every time. Even when you do that, you still don't always get the right output, but ChatGPT can go overboard with certain things. So I want to be able to look at it. I want to be able to edit and take off some things that I need to, and then click ready so we can move on to the next step. But you're going to get to a point where you won't need to have this ready. Everything will just go on autopilot once you've dialed everything in, and you know for sure you're getting great output every single time. So I'm going to have ready, and then this is going to be a checkbox, and then I'm going to have processed. This box is going to be checked once everything is done. I might not need this, but let's just have it for now. I'm going to go back to the story. I am going to move this to the start. So you can just drag it wherever you want. So this should be grouped by story title. There we go. And then what I'm going to add here is the process field as well. And this is going to be a checkbox. And then I'm going to add the ready. This is going to be the trigger that will start the automation. Move this here. This process gets, every time this row is finished, this table is finished, it's going to automatically take process. That way the automation stops. You will see once I finish building everything, and that is done. That's all we need. And then this is the ready tab. Then we need something other things, so we're going to need the prompt in scene one prompt, long text field. I'm going to move this here because this is scene one, is related to scene one prompt, and I'm going to click duplicate here. I'm going to duplicate it. This is going to be scene one. Scene one image. For the image, make sure it's an attachment. And then this is going to be scene one audio. And then it has to be an attachment as well. The reason why I choose to do it like this is because I like my things very neat. Before, when I created the automation, I made it in a different tab. So the audio and the images was in a different tab. But then I realized that the automation is so much longer, and I had to add things that I don't necessarily need when I could just have it all in one tab. So I re-edited everything and made them all in one tab. For me, it's so much easier. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to add the prompt here. It's going to be a text field, so leave that like that. And then that's in 3 prompt. And then we're going to add this into audio and image as well. So let's duplicate this again. This is going to be an attachment. Image and audio is always an attachment because it lets you put a link. This is audio. And this is an audio. So it lets Airtable download whatever audio or image you put on there. And then I'm going to duplicate this. We're almost done with it now. I'm going to put an image here. Attachment. And then the last one we're going to put is the audio. And then that's done. Now I'm just going to add something else. I might not need it, but might also need this record ID. So what you want to do is find the one that says formula, click on that, and then you're just going to start writing record, and it's going to pop up for you. So click on this and then close the bracket. You always have to close the bracket. If you don't close the bracket, it's not going to work. So let's add the record ID here as well. Formula, start to type record, you see it there, and then just close it. Click create. And then I want to delete this because I don't really need them right now. So I'm going to delete the sections. I'm going to delete the sections too. And let me check to make sure that's all we need. Audio and scene image. Yes, that's it. Okay, now it's ready. Let's start working on the other things. So this grow here is going to be called all stories. Outline. And then you're just going to go down and click this one that says section. It's going to be all stories. And then you want to drag this and just put it in here. And then you're going to go back and click section, and this is going to be automation. And then click this one that says grow, and this one is going to be create script. And then click create view, and then drag this on the automation. Leave that there. Here is going to be our script. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Actually, let's name that our script. The name doesn't matter, it's just so you can understand what this is for. Created. And then I'm going to drag it under here as well. And then I'm just going to add one automation first. Automation. And then I'm going to add the grill. This one is going to be create prompt. And I'm going to drag this here. We're going to start with this. We're going to add more later, but let's just start with this for now. Okay, let's go to Airtable. I'm just going to delete all this. And then we'll start afresh. I'm going to click create. And then the trigger, we're going to click Airtable. It's going to be watch response. And then you just want to click add. And then this URL is what we're going to need. Basically, this watch response is like a webhook in disguise, especially for Airtable. This is their webhook. And then we're going to use this link to trigger the automation in Airtable. Let's just name this base to story tutorial. YouTube, so I know what tutorial this is. Take that color. So now we're going to go to automation, and you want to click add trigger, and you want to say when the record enter views, and then you want to select the table. We're going to do the story first, and then we're going to create script. And then you're going to move here, and then you're going to click run script, and then go to the tab where I gave you the script. I already gave you the script to use. This is the script. Just copy it here, and then go back to your Airtable, and you want to paste it here. Sometimes when you copy the script from a Word document, the ID is not triggered properly. So let me fix that. The I, and then it should work properly. And then this one is going to be generate script. Change the action to generate script. Create script. This is just to help you identify what this is doing, what this automation is doing. And then click on here and then say record. So capital letter I and then put D, and then you want to select the record ID. Select the one that says create script, and then go and click the one that says record ID. This create script is the name we gave it here. You want to name it the same thing that you gave it here, so you know what this particular automation action is doing. So that's what we're doing. And then now I need to add some details here in order for me to finish this step. So to get your story ideas, what I do is you can either search on Reddit and get some story ideas if you're doing the Reddit, or you can just go on YouTube and see what the competition is already talking about. Because if people already enjoy watching it, then why are you trying to make things hard for yourself? Just follow what works. I'm going to go here, and then I'm just going to pick the story. Actually, let's pick this one since we already opened it. I'm just going to copy it like this. And then I'm going to go to YouTubetranscript.com. And then I'm going to paste it on here like this. I'm going to just generate the script of this YouTube video. I'm going to click copy transcript, and then we'll move to use any Google Doc that you have, and then or use Word document, doesn't really matter. And then you just want to paste it here. I'm going to name it test story. what we're doing is we're going to use this story script to create an outline for ourselves, just to make it easier. And then I'm just going to download this. Now this is where ChatGPT comes in. So you're going to need I think you can use the free plan. I've never used the free plan. I've always had the paid one, so I'm not really sure. But try the free plan and see the output that you get. If you're reading the outline and you think it doesn't make sense and it's not interesting enough, that means you might need the paid one. So let's just see what happens. So I'm gonna say create a detailed summary of the story using the script provided. I want you to include everything that happened in each scene. And then I'm going to just click upload that script that I just got from that video. And then we're going to click, and then we're going to wait. It's going to create us a detailed outline, detailed summary that we can then use to create our outline. The reason why I do it like this is because I want to get every single part of the story. That way I have as much details about the story as possible and it's more engaging. And yes, it's done. So just copy this outline, and then we're going to move to creating the actual outline. This is just a summary. Create a 3 scene outline of this summary story. Make sure it includes everything that happened in the story. For this path, you should ideally create a prompt specially that creates your outline, that has every details you want in an outline. You should ideally create a prompt, but I just do it like this because for me, the most important part is when you start creating this script. That's the most important part. You can just skim through the outline and see if it has everything you need. You would know if it has everything you need. I watch this type of stories, so I kind of have an idea of what it entails. But if you don't, I would advise you to probably just maybe watch some of your competition story just to give you an idea. Okay, so we got our outline. I'm just going to copy the outline. I'm going to go back to the test story. Now I'm going to remove this and put it here. So I would make this smaller and make this smaller. Just move this. This is how I do it. I feel like this is the quickest way for me to do it. For the title, this is just a title that I need to create the story. This is not the actual title that I'll be using for my YouTube video because I don't want to be copying the competition's title. That's just wrong. Just going to paste the title here. Let's move the story type at the back here. So now you're going to select the story type. Hold on a minute, I missed something. You need to click on the add, what is it called? Let me check again. It's the add field. What you want to do, you want to add the prompt, and you already have the story type. Just click on here to add the prompt and then remove this. The reason why you want to add the prompt is because we need to be able to see on this field in order to use it in our first ChatGPT request for script. So go on here and then just select the one that you have, and then you see it's going to pull the outline that you put on the side here. That is why you want the two field to be connected, so you can easily pull it from here because you're going to need it when you're writing your script. I'm just going to make this a bit taller so I can see it. And then now I'm going to add all the rest of the rest of the outline. Go here and then outline 1 and add 2 as well. And then I'm going to add the last one. Okay. Now I'm gonna go to my oh yeah, my bad. I've been adding it to the automation, so I've been adding it to the wrong place. It should not be added in the automation. It should be added in the main the top side, the main outline field. I'm glad you see me making mistakes, so you know how to fix it when you make this mistake. So let's go on here. This is where we should add it. Now let's go back and add all these things again. Come to this field, this automation field, and then we're going to add filter. So what you want to do is you want to add on a condition. So if the story type is not empty, and then the story type is not empty, and then the ready field is checked, and then process is not checked. What this does is once I update this, you see it falls out of this automation. So that means this automation only triggers when I check this, and this is not checked. As soon as this is checked, it's gonna fall out of this. Let me show you. I'm gonna click ready, and if I go on here, you see that it's fall onto this field. So that's why we use when automation we use when a record enter view, that's when it starts to trigger this automation. So when this record here enter this view here, that's when the automation starts. So as soon as I click process, so when I finish writing the script, the automation is going to automatically click process to know that the script is already processed. It's going to follow this field. That is to ensure it's not running over and over again, because we do not want it running over and over again. That's just going to waste your operations, which you don't really need. You don't need multiple script of one story. Okay. Now that this is all set, let me make this talk so I can read it. Now we can move on to creating the automation for the story. Let's remove this field. We're not going to need it. Okay, I'm going to go back here. Now that I have a story to start writing, you're going to make sure it's showing in this field that says create script. So click the ready and make sure it falls into this view. And now we can finish this automation. What you want to do is come back to this field and click choose record. And then it's going to select the record that is in the view here. And then you're going to come on here. This is where we're going to test it to make sure this works. Go on here and then click OK. And then what you're going to do next is add the get record ID. I like to align mine like this. So let's connect that tab. You're going to connect, click on the Alt key, and we need to connect the base that we just created. And then you're going to find the base. This was story tutorial, and then grant it access so we're able to use it in Airtable. Wait for it to verify, and then we can use it now. So you want to select the story tutorial. It's going to be different, of course, and we're in the story tab, and then we're going to trigger this to get the record ID. Let's just trigger this because I need to get the record ID in order to set up the other step. Go back and click test trigger. Let's see. Oh, there's something I forgot. I forgot to add the webhook into there. It's triggering something else. I need to change this webhook ID. You also need to change this webhook ID to your ID. So let's click finish. All right. Let's try again. Let's run this once. And then click test action. There we go. We got the record ID. I'm going to name it. I'm going to connect it and say story tutorial. Don't be like me. Make sure you name it so you actually know which one it is and you don't have to connect it multiple times like I'm doing right now. Okay, now I know. Select story tutorial. and then select the story table, and then the ID is going to be what we got from there. So you select the one that says record ID, click OK, and then we're going to move on to sending our script to ChatGPT. For which ChatGPT to use, you have to connect to your ChatGPT, by the way. So what you want to do is when you select this GPT, yours is not going to be connected. You're just going to click add, go to your OpenAI, copy your key. Let me show you where you can find your key in OpenAI. The signing. I don't really need you to look. You're going to come here that says API key, and you're going to create an API key. In order to use this, you do need to top up though, because it's not a free thing. So you can go to your profile. I have my billing here, and you could just add credits. Click on add credit here, and you'll be able to add credit, your card details, and just top up whatever you like, and then get your API key. And then once you get that API key, name it whatever you want, and then paste it here, and then click save. That's all you need to do to use it. For the model we're going to be using for this test, let's use ChatGPT 4. And then for the role, we're going to do the system prompt first. Remember when we were setting this up, we said story type, and then we selected this, we created this prompt. So this is where we're going to need it. I'm going to go back, and then I'm just going to select story prompt. Go here that says story prompt, and then gonna add another one. This one is gonna be the user, and for the user I have it here for you already. This is a system for ChatGPT script, and this is the user. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go back to my automation, paste it on here. I'm gonna give it space, and then give it another space. We're not gonna need this for the first one, so let's remove that. And then we're gonna send the first outline in. So this is the first outline, and then you're also going to send the second outline. The reason why you're sending the first outline is so we can write it, but the reason why you're sending the second one, you can read the prompt, it actually says on here, is so we can read what's coming next. That way it helps you understand how to write the story and know what to expect next. It just helps the story flow better, believe me. And then for the token, we're just going to add 0. We don't want to add a minimal token, and just click OK. And then we're going to then create a table in Airtable. So we want to create a table here. So the script we're writing, we want to drop it on the side. So I'm going to say create a record. I'm going to select the tutorial one. And it is asking for permission again. It does that when you're using a different mode, like a new scenario or new action, should I call it. I'm going to select the story tutorial. And then now we're adding it to the story script. I'm going to send the title. No, I'm sending the title, not the story type. It's my title. There's it, video title. And then I'm going to send the script. So select the result from ChatGPT. And then that's it. And then we're going to move on to the next one. I'm just going to clone this because that's the next one. I like to arrange mine like this. But obviously, you can do it however you like. So this one, I'm going to name it send scene 1. I'm going to name this write scene 1. It's just to help you understand what these actions are doing when you come back later. Maybe you've not looked at this for like a week, and you come back later, or you want to review this for someone else, then you're able to remember what exactly this is doing. And this is going to be sent right scene 2. And then that's great. Then this next one is going to be update record. I'm going to put that on the top. But now I need to send scene 2. Go back down, make sure you're choosing the one that says get record. I'm going to send scene 2, and then I'm also going to send scene 3. And then this is a part where you're going to add the previous written script. The reason why you want to add the previous written script is because you don't want ChatGPT to repeat itself. So you're going to tell it to read the previous thing is written. That way it knows where to continue from. Yeah, sometimes a table makes it all over the place and it's difficult to find it. So I'm going to send back scene 1 as well so he reads it first. Click OK, and then I'm going to update this scene 2. We're going to choose a script again. And then the record this time, we're going to go to the one that says create record here. Go to the one that says create record and then choose the record ID. It's going to say ID. And then we're not sending the title this time, we're sending scene 2 script. And then we're going to choose result. And then the last one, if you notice, like when you're doing this for 9 different scenes, it could take time. That's why I decided to do 3. That way I just show you how it's done without taking too much time. This is going to send scene 2. I'm going to duplicate this, put it here like this. And I'm going to fix this one. We're going to send scene 3 now. Go back to the first one that says get record ID. Scene 3 outline. And then you're not going to need this because there's no next one. But what you are going to do is put a comma here. And then you want to send this script 2 as well. So you want ChatGPT to read the script 2 before writing script 3. And I put a full stop there. Click OK. And then now you're going to send scene 3 result. Remove it from here and then find scene 3 script and then send it. Let's make sure I removed the first one. Yes, I did. And then I'm going to name this scene 3. Okay, now that's done. So we're going to run this. Then I'm going to show you what happens. Let me update the other table. And we're going to select script. What we want to do is when we've triggered this and we're done with it, I want to update it to process. That way it leaves this field and goes to this field and stay here only, so it's not triggering multiple times like I said before. We're going to select the first story tab, and then the ID, you're going to go down and select this ID here. And then what you want to do is go down and just click yes. And then okay. And now we're going to test it. Run this. And then I'm going to test the automation. Now it's writing scene 1 for us. This has gotten all the information. And then send scene 1 to ChatGPT. And then it's updated scene 1. So let's go have a look. Let's go to this tab. Remember there was nothing here before, so now it's created scene 1. And you see here, this is scene 1 script. So what you want to do is you want to read the script and then you want to make sure it actually makes sense. And one thing I notice is sometimes ChatGPT writes a lot of fluffy words. It's called pop-up prose and also filler words. They use a lot of filler words. So in order for you to edit this, basically once it's done the first stage, which is writing the script, you want to put another stage in which is going to tell it to edit the script that is already written. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the editing prompt to this for you as well. The one that I use, I'm going to add it here for you so you can then add the editing stage. To add the editing stage, all you want to do is basically just add another tab here. See, click create from scratch and just say story edit. And then basically just do the same thing that I did on here, literally here, where I added all these tabs here. Let me add the editing stage just to show you what I mean. I'm going to remove these fields. Let's just make sure it's written all of them. Yes, it's written all of them. And now we take this one as processed. Now it's not on this anymore. So you can see it's gone now. It only stays here. I'm going to add the editing field as well. That way you know how to do it, because ChatGPT is not to be trusted with actually writing some words in normal English that everybody can understand. Just going to remove this just to show you, because you are going to need that step. And then we're going to go to the edit. I'm going to move it to the side. And then we're going to create all those tabs again. And make this auto field, auto number. And then we're going to start now. So video title, you always need the title, because you're filtering it by the title, you're grouping it by the title. This is a single text field, and this is going to have in one script edited. That's going to be a long text one. And then we're just going to duplicate this 3 times. This is going to be scene 2. I'm going to remove this one and put 2 here. Save. I'm going to do the same thing for this field. Remove copy and then put 3 there. And now I'm going to add the image and the audio, because now we don't have it on the side anymore. So we need it here. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to make this in one audio. I'll make it image first. And then remember, you always want to be attachment. And then I'm going to make this the audio field in one audio. And then save. Now we're going to do scene 2. I'm going to duplicate this twice, because we need one for image and one for audio. This one is going to be image. And then attachment, and then the next one is going to be audio. Audio. And then attachment. Now we're going to do that for, I'm just duplicating this and moving it here. We're going to do for 3 as well. Image. Audio. Ready. And then I made it a check mark. And then I made video creation. And a check mark. Okay, so this is going to trigger the audio, creating the audio and the image, and this is going to trigger actually putting everything together to make one video. Put it there, select that. Okay, now that we've done that, we're going to trigger the prompt, getting the prompt, and the editing. We're going to trigger the editing first, and then we're going to trigger getting the prompt. Actually, we're going to do the script edit first, and then we're going to do the prompt. Now I'm going to add ChatGPT. And then we're going to send all the script that was written before. For the system, we need a prompt that actually edits the script. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and get it to create a prompt for me. I need you to edit this prompt. I need a system prompt to edit my script. I'm going to put my story script. I want it to look at the generated script and remove any proper prose and filler words. It needs to use simple English to make sure that it's easy to understand. And then it's going to paste the script and it's going to edit this instruction for me. That's great. I'm using ChatGPT for Canvas, by the way. Canvas is the only one that does this, where it moves it to a different tab where all you have to do is just click here to copy it. I'm going to add this to the document for you as well. I'm going to call it editing prompt. Make this bigger so you know what it is. And then remember, this is the system prompt. Remove that and then move it a little bit lower. And then that. Go back and I'm going to paste it here. And there we go. That's what we're going to use. And for this, we're going to add our stories. So we're going to do the first one. And then we're going to send it back to a different tab. We're going to create a record. So we're creating a record on this edit part. Let me remove this. I did not realize that my camera wasn't working, so I literally was just talking for an hour and it wasn't recording. But anyway, so what I've done is I removed the prompt from the side and the audio and the image, and then I put it on the side. So here's the section. I add the title. I had a script tab, like the edited version. I add the image. This is the prompt. So I added the script, the edited prompt. This is for the prompt. Let me just make this so we can see it. And then the audio tab. And then I did it for all three things. So all you have to do is do the same thing that we did on the side here, but this time you add the edited one, the prompt, the image, and the audio. And then you want to add this field to auto number as well. There we go. So this automation here is creating the script, and then it's creating the edited version of the script. And then now that we've done that, so we've triggered this, and we've moved here and created this script, and then we're going to create this as well. So what I want to do is I want to delete all this, and then I want to trigger this automation again so I can have find the first script here, and then I can have the edited version here as well. That way I can move to the next step. So let's unmark this processed, and then we're going to trigger this to run. So what I want to do here is go to the side. I need to name this script and edit automation script and edit automation. When you're building this scenario, you have to do a lot of thinking, because sometimes you're like, oh, I guess I should have done this way and the other way. So you have to go back and edit and change things. But anyway, I'm going to trigger this now. And then what's going to do is going to create the script for us. I'm going to click test here. In order to view it when it's on, in order to view it when it's running, you have to go out and click and just watch it here. As you can see, it takes a bit of time to trigger, but it will trigger eventually. And then it doesn't always do that, but sometimes it does. And then it will start running. We got the first one, so let's go have a look. And I sent the second one as well. Let's have a look and see what's on. Yeah, we got the first one, we got the second one. Now we just need the third one, which is currently creating. After doing that, then it's going to move to the side and it's going to edit the script that it created. It's going to edit it and then add the editing script so we can move to the prompt and the other things we need to do. Okay, so it's done all this ones. There we go. It is done this and then updated it as processed. Now it's going to run this and then update this as processed as well, which is what it's doing right now. Really good. Okay, that's done. Finish this and it's marked it as processed. So it's added the title and all the edited script. Now we need to trigger here. This is where we need automation to write the prompt to generate the image and the audio. So I'm going to add a grill here. I can't even write image and audio. Let's move it here. And then I'm going to save this. So this is done. Always make sure you name it, by the way. And now we're going to move to the next part. So all I did was, because I told you already, I was already creating it, and for some reason it wasn't recording, my phone stopped. So I'm just going to click create a scenario. And we're going to do the same thing, watch row. We're going to create the webhook, copy the link, and this is going to be the second automation, which creates the script. Just create the prompt, image, and audio with the A. And then it's going to be when the record hits views, the editing version, and then that, we got it. Let's change the webhook here. And this link. And then what you want to do is make sure you name it. I already did this when I was recording it before, so I named it create prompt, image, and audio. You name it whatever you like. So ideally, whatever you put here, that's what you want to name it. Because I already did it earlier, this is already showing for you. It's going to be, none of this result is going to be there. So what you need to do is do it the way you did this, the previous one. Click the ready to generate image and audio tab. It's going to come to the, I didn't realize I already created it. I'm going to move that. It's going to come to this side, and then you can go to the automation and just choose, and it will appear like this for you. So let's run it first, and then go back and click test, and let's see. There we go, we got it now. Now I'm going to say get record ID. We're going to choose the script from the editing part. Make sure you select the right connection. It was story tutorial for us. And then I'm going to choose the base. The base is basically the name that you gave it here. We're in the editing part, and then I'm going to choose this record ID. I'm going to click OK. For this part, we're going to use a few things. We're going to do a few things here. So we need to add the router. And then what this router is going to do, enable us to do multiple things. So I'm going to click, I'm going to need 3. This is going to be for creating the prompt. Let's create a prompt. And then I already showed you how to connect ChatGPT. So I'm just going to use the 4 for this as well. If you're going to be doing this, make sure you use the 4.0, as that's the one I use. So we're going to do the system. We're going to go copy it. It's going to be here waiting for you, so don't worry about it. And then I'm going to go back and just paste the system prompt here. Actually, I like it to be clean. So the plain text. It's gonna make it like format it like this. It looks better. I prefer it like that. Don't think it makes a difference, but I always do it like that. And here you're gonna add the edited script. So that's the number one. Put 0 there. And then when that is created, we're gonna update the edited script tab, update the record ID. We're gonna update it with the prompt. Choose the record ID from here, from the first part, and we're gonna update the prompt with the result. And I'm just gonna clone this because we're doing the same thing but for a different scene. I'm gonna remove this and I'm gonna put 2. I'm just gonna clone this. We're still doing the same thing but for a different scene. Remove it from 1 and then I'm gonna put the result into, and then the last one we're doing now. For you, if you have multiple scenes, you're gonna do this for all the scenes. I'm gonna put 3. Where is it? 3 edit script. There we go. Just need to make sure I'm choosing the right thing here because sometimes I make mistake of choosing the wrong one. Edited script. Yes, that's the right one. And then let's just put this one there and then send the 3 prompt. There we go. Now save. And now we're gonna create the audio. So what you want to do here is do the get record again. Choose the right one. Choose the right base. And then the table is edited one, and then just choose the record ID from the first one as well. Click OK. And now for the image, we're going to use Flux AI. I'm going to show you from my one. It just saves me having to do everything from the start again. So I'm going to take this. We use the HTTP request for Flux. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to get if you wanted to use Flux AI, how to get everything. I used to use a platform called Replicate. Well, for some reason, there's something wrong with them. We just stopped working 2 days ago. So now I'm using a platform called File. Is it File? I think it's, yeah. It's called File AI. And what you want to do is just, if you don't have an account, obviously you're going to have to sign up. For me, I'm just going to log in. And then you're going to have to credit your account. You're going to come here, choose whatever you want to buy. The minimum you can buy is $10. And then you're going to add your card details and just basically buy credit. It's quite cheap. Let me show you how much you're paying per image. So depending on the one you're using, I tested out the Pro Flux 1.1 Pro, and I also tested out Flux 1. I think it was Flux Dev. Let me see if I find it. I can't find it. I think I tested Pro on Dev. I definitely did test Dev. Well, I don't remember, for some reason it's not there. But anyway, they charge you is quite cheap. It's like 4 cents per image, and you don't really need a lot of image. Like you see those competitions, all they were doing is just one image or through. So technically you don't really need a lot of image, but I use one image per scene. I feel like it keeps it more interesting. So there you go. Now to get your API key, so what you're gonna need is you're gonna need your API key. You're gonna need the link. Just copy what I did. Copy every single thing you see on the screen right now to save yourself the hassle. But just to show you how to do it in case you don't want to copy me, you want to do it yourself for some reason. Let's say you want to use this Flux.1 dev. You need to go to the part where it says API. When you come on here, it's not going to be on the HTTP. So you need to click on the HTTP version, and then it basically tells you how to connect it. If you see this URL, it's a bit different from the one I have. When you add the queue to it, it means it's going to queue the image once it's created, and you're going to have to have another scenario with a webhook that triggers that image and sends it to that webhook. I feel like it's long. I'd rather just wait and have it bring me the image as soon as it's finished. I don't know why people do that, but I rather do it a different way. Anyway, you can just look through it and connect it, or simply just copy what I did here. So this is the URL. Just paste it on there, and then it's a post request. Paste or click on here to get one of the headers, write authorization, and then put key with a space and then your API key. To get your API key, you come on the home page, and then you're going to see something that says API key. Click on it, and then you're going to say add API key and create your API key. Once you create it, copy the key, come on here, and then paste it next to the key. And then you're going to select raw application JSON, and then just copy this. Let me paste it on here to make it easier for you. I'm going to call it image generation prompt. And then there you go. Now what you want to do is when you paste it on the body, you want to do this, remove this and replace it with your prompt. So for me, that is going to be created already. So there's going to be prompt. I'm going to replace it with one prompt, and then I'm going to send it back to Airtable. I'm just going to clone this update because it's the same thing we're doing really. Yeah, there's one thing that happens when you do it using the HTTP. You kind of have to run it first in order to get the URL, because before I forget, make sure you click yes here, by the way, because then you will be able to select the URL instead of all the data, because when you choose all the data, it's not going to work. So we need to run this, get the prompt before we can run this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to save it. It's just telling me that this here is not filled out. Okay, run once. I'm going to go and test the trigger, and then just wait for it to write the prompt first, and then it's going to come here and basically generate the image for the prompt. Okay, let's go have a look. First prompt should be there. Yeah, as you can see, we have the first prompt here now. Okay, there's something wrong here. It's creating a script instead of prompt. Oh, I see what happened. Because I copy and pasted this from my other tab, I did not change it to the prompt one. Let's change it. That's for the edit with the prompt there. Let's change it. And I'm going to just copy this. The prompt should be created from the script. It's simple. One sentence. Prompt. That pasted it twice. And then I'm going to choose into, and then I'm going to update this as well. And paste the same three. there's an issue, then we'll fix it later. Let's run this once. And then let's trigger it again, see what we get. All right, that's better. There we go. That's great. That's the reason you want to review it, is make sure there's nothing weird that will make the other thing not work. Okay, now we just need to fix the image. Let's see. What's the error? Sometimes when it gives you an error, you just go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to fix it for you, or for ChatGPT to tell you what it is. This is already done. I'm going to on this now, and then I'm going to test this and see what's going on. Put it back, and then let's update. Now I'm going to show you what I mean when I said you needed to run it before you can update the image. So they need a URL, and it's literally right in the data. So you actually need to open the image and then just take the URL. So if you don't run it, you won't be able to do that. You see, there is, you would only need to run this once. And I'm going to replace it with the other prompt. Prompt 2. I'm going to clone this. Clone that. This 1, 2, and then I need one more, 3. Now I'm going to edit 2. Did I already edit this one? Let's just make sure. Yeah. I've sent 2, and then I sent 3. Go down and find 3. And now I just need to run this to be able to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this only. You only need to do this once while you test it, while you're getting everything set up. I'm going to take the Sync 2 prompt, and then I'm going to run it, just so I can get that URL that I need. Now I'm going to update this, remove it from 1, replace it in 2 image, and then get the URL. Click OK, and then I'm going to do the same for this. I'm going to run it once, just going to save anything because we're going to run this all together later. We're going to actually turn it on and watch it do everything. And then I'm going to update this with number 3. Oh, number 3 image. 3, where is it? There we go. Take the URL. Now we're going to move to the audio. So we're going to get records again, and we're going to get it from the editing tab. So we're almost done. This is the second to the last one. And yeah, and then get the ID. It's going to be the same ID as this one. And now we need ElevenLabs. The thing is, what I do is I bash create my videos, and when I do that, you can run out of credit from ElevenLabs. I'm on the $99 a month plan, so I'm almost out, but I'll see if it would be able to create just this one scenario. We'll see what happens. Let me just see how many words it is. It's not too long, so I'm hoping it'll be fine for this phrasing, so I can actually show you how it works. Let me do something. Just gonna add it here until I can run this on its own without running those, because you're gonna be wasting ups if you're doing that. Let's test it. And now I got the ID that I wanted. Go back, here, and then put this here. Now we're going to find ElevenLabs and then create speech sentences. And to connect your ElevenLab, all you have to do is click add and then go to your API key. So let me show you where to find your API key. Yes, you can see it's telling me that I have low credit. And to find your API key, just click on API and you can create your key, copy it, go back to your scenario and paste it here and click save. That's it. And then for voice, obviously you can choose any voice you want, but I like to use a professional one, so I'm just going to professional. And then you can choose any professional one. I'll use this one that says storytelling. For the model, I like to use this one, but obviously you can use whatever one you prefer. And then we're going to choose the same one. Just leave everything else. We're going to save this to Google Drive first. The problem with ElevenLabs is it doesn't give you a link to just send it to Airtable. So you're going to have to like generate the link yourself. So you have to save it somewhere. We can't really save it on our computer. So the only option we have is Google Drive. So you're going to save it on Google Drive, then get the link from Google Drive, then send that to Airtable. So Airtable is able to download it. I'm going to do upload a file. You're going to have to connect your Google Drive and your Gmail in order to use it. It's not complicated, but it's quite long compared to if you have a professional Gmail, a professional email account. And to do that, I'm going to leave the link. I left the link to the video you can watch. The video that I watch here is going to show you how to connect your Gmail to Airtable. Just going to use this. That's already connected. And then you're going to say select list. You need to create a folder. I already created a folder. Just create a folder on your Airtable. Mine one is test, just for this. And then you're going to choose ElevenLabs. Map it to ElevenLabs. Sometimes it does this even when there's nothing wrong with it. Just open it and then save it again. And then we're going to share a link. This is the link we're going to send to Airtable. So for the ID, choose the ID from here. And then anyone, make sure you say anyone can view it. That's the only way you'll be able to, Airtable will be able to get the video from there and save it to their system. And then that's it. That's all you need to do. Click OK. And now we can send it to Airtable. So we're going to go top and then look for audio. On the URL, you're going to choose the one that says web content. And then click OK. Now I'm just going to duplicate to do the same thing. So I'm going to press shift on my computer. I'm going to copy it and then I'm going to paste it. And then I'm going to drag it back like this. This just saves me having to do it one by one. Now we're sending this into. Make sure you're selecting the right one. And then we're going to choose this. And we're going to choose that. Delete this and then send the audio to. There we go. Select the web link. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to paste what I already copied. And this is going to be for the last thing. And then we're going to do the same thing. Choose the first one. Use the ID. And then we're going to upload the last one onto Airtable. The audio. and the web link. There we go. Now that's done. All right, now we're going to only run the image and the audio sync. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this for now because I don't really need to run that. And we're going to run this too. And let's just try test. Go. Okay, it's creating the image now. First image has been created and sent to Airtable. There we go. We have our first image. The second one, we have our second image. And then we'll have a third one. So it's going to move to the audio. Fingers crossed it's actually enough. Free or free audio. We have the first audio here. Okay. See, we have our second audio. Just about. Last one. Enough? Yes. Brilliant. Okay, we have all three audios now. I'm going to attach this back and I'm going to save it. The last one we're going to do now, this is not, it's not hard, but it's difficult to understand. When I was doing it, it took me a long time to figure it out. No, it took me a few days. So what you actually need is you need to create your own video creation too. So there's two options. You can use JSON to video. You can use this platform called JSON to video. But for me, the price was just not worth it when I could learn to create my own. So this is the price. Ideally, if I wanted to use this, I would have to go for this price a month because that's I create a lot of videos. So what I did was I kind of made my own. The thing is, I already created it, so I can't actually just create it in front of you, but I'll tell you how to. I'll give you my script, my code, and then I will tell you like how to get through it. Let me show you. So this is a platform. You're going to need PyCharm. PyCharm is going to be your code writer. This is where you're going to write your code. And then you're going to need, let me just copy this. Show you. You're going to need Flux. You're going to need MoviePy. And then you're going to need, you already have Airtable. You're going to need Traceback. The thing is, when I say you're going to need, doesn't necessarily mean you have to download these things into your computer. Some of them are just something you download through code. So you just download it through your command prompt. So basically, some of them you just download through here. Now, what you want to do is you're going to copy this code that I gave you already. Where did I put it? Put it here, didn't I? Where is the code? Should be down here somewhere. Oh no, I haven't. Let me do it now. Copy. I'm just going to paste it here for you. Oh no. Let's paste it as a plain text. There we go. Now you're going to copy this code and then you're going to take it to ChatGPT. You're going to ask ChatGPT to tell you what you need in order to use this code. ChatGPT is going to give you a detail of the things you need in order to use this code. And then it's going to tell you what you need to get, and you're going to ask it to give you a step by step on how to actually build those things you need. So for example, if you say you need Ngroup is the software that actually enables you to use anything online. So because the video creation to it's on your computer, you can't really just send webhook from Airtable to this because it's not online, it's not a web application. So in order to be able to access it as a web application, you need this platform called Ngroup. So what Ngroup does is it connects anything that's on your computer and basically enable you to connect it with anything online, so you can access anything online, even though the application is on your computer, but you can actually use it like it's a web application. I hope it makes sense. And for this, I have the pay plan. It's very cheap and it enables me to be able to get my own domain. The reason why I did that, you can use it for free. The reason why I did that is if you don't have your own domain that is a pay plan, every time you want to run this software like this to edit, you need to come to terminal and you need to connect this this key here. You need to connect this key here to it every single time. And this key is going to be different every single time. So I did not want that. I just wanted one domain that I use all through and it never changes. So, and to learn how to use this, ChatGPT will talk you through it as well. If you still don't understand what ChatGPT talk you through it, then search a YouTube video on how to connect, how to use an N group. That's what I did. I searched on YouTube how to use N group, and then you basically just watch the video and then figured it out. But ChatGPT will talk you through it. Anyway, so what you want to do is copy this code and then go to ChatGPT. I'm gonna say, can you tell me everything I need to use this code, to use this script as I want to build my own, let's say deploy, build my own editor on my computer. It's just gonna work. It's ChatGPT gonna read the code, and it's gonna tell you exactly what you need. So it's gonna tell you need to install Python, which you need, and then you need to copy this and then go to your command, and then just run this. It's gonna tell you, and it's gonna explain the script to you, and it's gonna tell you to upload Flux, and then you said you're going to need Airtable Python wrapper. That's something you also you install it here. Sorry, I'm going blank. You install it here. You basically just type it in and it installs. That's it. And then it says you're going to need your Airtable base and your table ID. So because we're calling it, we pulling this data here to this software that is on our computer, you're going to need this table ID, so script edit ID, and then you're going to need this base ID as well. In order to get that, all you have to do is come on here that says help, go to documentation. Once you get to introduction, this is your base ID. This is what you're going to copy and then paste it on the script here, the script that I already gave you. As you can see, this is my base ID, and then this is my table ID. So you're just going to change this here. Let me remove it. You're going to add it there. You're just going to add it there. And then you're going to add your token as well, token access. So once you got it there, you're going to add your base ID between this, and then you're going to add your table ID between this and your token access between this. Now I'll go show you how to get it. This is your base ID. Your table ID, you're going to go to that table, the one that says edit, whatever it calls it on yours, and then you're going to copy this. That's the table ID. Now for the token, go back, I'll show you how to get the token. You're going to go to setting, you're going to go to account, and then you're going to go to this part that says developer hub. When you click on here, it's going to take you to the part where you can get your token. Token is basically API key really, but Airtable has changed from API to token, and that's where you get your token. And then you will just go to the script and then paste it here, and then follow whatever ChatGPT tells you to do. This is, if you've never done this before, it's going to take you a bit of time to get this right. So be patient with it. You will not just learn it overnight, and don't get frustrated and give up. Just if you're getting frustrated, go take a break and then come back the next day and try to do it. Now, let me actually show you how it works. I'll show you it working so you see what happens when we do that, when we actually run it. Actually, I'm gonna turn on my N group so I'm able to access the Airtable online. I'm going to copy this And then I'm going to go here. I'm just going to blur that part out because I don't know if showing that URL someone else will be able to use it. I'm also going to blur this part out as well. But once I click on it, it's going to start. It's going to show something here to say I'm online now. And then I'm going to click, and then I need to change this base ID and everything else because now I'm using a different base. I'm not using the same as the one that I had before. So in order to use it, I need to change the base ID to this because the base that is on my software right now on this program is my main base, the one I use for my channel. So I'm going to go here and just do what I told you a minute ago. I'm going to copy this base ID. I'm going to go here and I'm going to change here. I'm going to change this base ID. I'm going to paste a new one. And then I'm going to go back. I'm going to get the table ID as well. Copy this here. I will just change it back to my main one later once I've showed you this. Delete this and then paste this here. And the my token is going to be the same thing. Now that I had this, I'm just going to click here to run it. And then it's going to show this. That means it's ready. If it's showing this, that means it's ready for you to start editing. If it's showing anything different from this, then copy it and go ask ChatGPT what this error means. Anyway, now that that is done, what we want to do is then send this webhook. In order to send those details, you're going to want to trigger it from here. So what I want to do is add a new automation. Let's just add it under the other one. Let's delete this one. Add the grill instead. There's video edit, video creation, I'm going to call it. The name doesn't really matter. You can call it whatever you would remember. I'm going to drag this here. And then I'm going to add filter to only run when I'm going to say to only run when video creation is ready. And then I'm going to add one more thing because I want to be able to take it when it's sent. Say video details sent. So what happens when all these details are sent to the software? It will start editing. Okay, so add the filter. I'm going to say when video is ready is ticked, and then detail sent is not ticked. That's the only time it will show on here. So let's create the automation. I'm going to duplicate this. All I'm doing is sending a webhook. I'm going to say when the record hits view for video creation, I'm going to run this webhook. Don't confuse me. I'm going to say watch records. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to say okay. I'm going to go back to my, and I'm going to change this. We're just doing the same thing like we did before. The only difference is we're sending the video to be edited. Create video. I'm going to call it create video. I need to click on video ready. So it will appear on this view. And then I could choose this now because it's done. And then we can test. So let's run this once. And then we're going to test. We should receive the details now. There we go. We received it. Now we're going to get records. Get records. And we're going to choose the right connection. Story tutorial. Choose the right base. And then what we want to do is then choose the edited. And then choose this record ID here. And now that's done. You need the HTTP module. So because we can only use HTTP to send the details, it's going to be make a request, and the URL is going to be whatever URL you're given by ngrok. So for mine, the one that says forwarding, the first HTTP is what you're going to use. For mine, it's my domain. So what I'm going to do is just copy it. And then paste it here. But to save me doing all this, I'm just going to go get it from my, make this faster. I'm just going to get it from my original one. And then you can just have a look at that. Copy that, I'm going to paste it here. And I'll just show you. So there's my URL, which is what I got from here. And then the only difference is you add webhook at the end. And then it's a post request, and the content type is JSON application, the same way as when we're requesting image. And then choose raw JSON application again. And now you're going to send all the details, like you're going to send the audio, you're going to send the image of all the scenes that you have. So we only have 3, and for this we're only going to send 3. So I'm going to delete the rest. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to delete one more. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's all we need. Yeah, be careful when you're deleting it so you don't mess something up. Hopefully I didn't, but if I did, I'll fix it somehow. So we're gonna have the image here. Where is the image? This is the image. And select URL. Make sure you're selecting the image URL and nothing else. And then we're gonna have the audio. You're gonna select the audio URL as well. Audio URL. I'm gonna do the same thing for the next scene. We're gonna choose the image URL for scene 2. Scene 2. And then image URL, audio URL for scene 2 as well. So audio URL. And then we're going to do the last one for scene 3. We're going to choose the image URL and then the audio, which is the last one. There we go. That's done now. And then after that, we're going to update our base to details sent. And then story tutorial. Update this space. We're going to send the same ID, which is the record ID, and we're going to choose video details sent to yes. And let me just delete any details that I had before, just to save the confusion once. And we're going to test the trigger here. We'll test it and then wait for it. Okay, it sent all the details now. Look at here, you will see that the video will start editing. I'm just going to stop this video and then come back when it's done editing, because sometimes it takes a bit of time to finish editing, depending on how long the video is. This is not very long, so I'm hoping it doesn't take too much time. Oh, it's quite fast, very fast. But I'll pause the video and I'll be back when it's done. For now, make sure you save this and then you can just come off. So while we wait, what we've done so far, I'm going to turn this off, is we created the script and we edited it. We created the image, we created the prompt, we created the image, and we created the audio with this one. And then the last one, we send all the image and the audio to our editing software to edit it. Now, there's one part that I have on mind that I didn't put on this video. That's because you have to actually create a fine-tuned GPT to use this. So what I did was I took a bunch of viral videos and then I trained ChatGPT, my own model of ChatGPT, with the details. So what I did was I wanted it to write a certain way. So after writing the script and editing it, I send it to my fine tune. My fine tune would then change the word and make it sound more human-like. The reason why you do that is it's like when you use AI, even though you edit it, still sounds very weird. So that's why I use the fine tune So I couldn't put that on that video. If not, this video will be too long. On training a fine tune, it takes time. It took me days to train the fine tune. So yeah, I didn't want to overwhelm you with it. If you want to learn how to train the fine tune ChatGPT, just YouTube it. I learned it on YouTube as well. It's quite easy. You just gather details from a YouTube video or a YouTuber that you like. Basically, you want to mimic the way they talk. So you gather those details, and whenever you write your script and you've gone through the edited step, you still takes those scripts and then send it to your fine tune, and the fine tune will just rewrite it in a way using the words that you trained it with. So let's say we train with Alex Moses the way he talks. The fine tune will rewrite the script and use Alex Moses words. That's what it's doing. It's very beneficial because it believe me, it helps a lot. Okay, I was talking to you and then realized it's finished. Now that it's finished, let's go check, and then we're going to check our video, and then this is the final video. There we go. That's done now. So I'm just going to turn this off, and then I'm going to exit out of this. And then the next thing that I like to do is, you can see when it creates it, it doesn't add subtitle to it, but this is a very easy part. I use CapCut. I just drop it in CapCut and I add the subtitle, and yeah, that's what I do. And then just gonna drag it to fill this screen. And then I like to add some effects. So I have my own favorite effect. You find what effect you prefer. I like to use like, hold on, something like snowy. Let's see what this, yeah, I'll use this. Drag it like this. And then I'll add the subtitle. Click auto generate. And that's it. Once the subtitle is done, I've choose the template that I like. I'll just export it and then upload it on my channel. When it comes to like what hashtag or title or description to use, description doesn't really matter. For a hashtag, I just use the one my competition used. And for title, I basically reword my competitions because it's already proven to work. So I reword it. I make sure I don't copy them exactly, but I reword it in a way where it still means the same thing. It's still intriguing, and I just upload the video. That's how I do it.